10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Shadow Fiend.
Queen of Pain.
Spirit Breaker. The Undying waits.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Winter Wyvern.
Bane.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Luna. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Slada.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Toby1 here with Blitz as we come into game number 2 of this best of 3 VP up against Invictus Gaming. It seems like some of the analysts have changed their mind on who's going to win this series.
They're flip-flopping, but we don't do that. We're holding strong.
Yes.
You're going to go with your original IG prediction?
I am actually, I have a small thing to admit. I've been a Ferrari fan since before Dota 2 was born. He has been one of the guys I've looked to for that mid-excitement so many times, and I'm just really happy to see IG hitting a point where they're strong again, and I kind of want them to stay there and not, in your words, flip-flop, back down again. Like, I'm not looking for a thong. Like, just give me a good game.
Yeah, I think that VP... I mean, both lineups rely heavily on snowballing. I think, like Kevin said, Rabbit, if he gets a quick Blink Dagger, you can really just go around the map and make life absolute hell for this Queen of Pain or this Luna pick, but
yep.
They've got a lot of different heroes that can back them up. You've got a combination that's pretty well known nowadays. It's the Darkseer plus the Spirit Breaker. You can send the Spirit Breaker in with the Ion Shell. It makes playing support really difficult when you're behind.
Yep.
When you've just got a Space Cow coming at you with like 1200 HP and an Ion Shell and he's surged up.
Especially when you got no vision. Like, if you had vision, at least maybe you can Nightmare, maybe you can Paralyze and Cast. When he comes out of the trees with all of that, it's not a fun time, you're right.
Yeah, and even with everything that's happened, I think that FNG is the strongest when he's playing this aggressive style with the Bounty Hunter / Spirit Breaker type heroes where he's able to just trade hits, get aggressive, and just kind of create space around the map. Obviously, we didn't really see it work out last game, but I think that was just because IG were really on top of their game when it comes to warding.
Yeah. They were really awesome. Let's see how game number 2 goes. As we have already kicked off into our laning phase, and Ferrari is trying to have a little bit of help here by Chuan. They've already got the high ground wards from both Radiant as well as Dire, so this should be a fairly even battle of trade at least. I'm actually wondering exactly, because Ferrari just seems to like to do this every single time on his SF build, where he just goes for these early points up and raises, ensure the bottle, and then think about collecting the souls.
Yeah, this is pretty common. We saw Mushi do it earlier in the day too when he played the Shadow Fiend. It's playing against the Queen of Pain. It's incredibly hard to just go for that straight Wraith Band and assume that you can, even with the Sal Fairy to you, that you're going to have enough regen to be able to survive. So just going for the fast bottle kind of neutralizes the threat and makes it so that the SF can trade hits. And because of the fast bottle, you're just going to be able to bottle crow at least once or twice before the first rune appears, meaning that you can just keep cycling through regen, and the Queen of Pain can't really do too much to contest you.
Mm-hmm. I want to keep my eyes very closely too on this offlane, because it is a core Undying. I know the boys were talking about the potential of an Aghanim Scepter Undying. Who knows, down the track maybe we might get it. But for now, I want to see just how much effect the Spirit Breaker has against him. There's no like huge chance that you get it like 17, then 17, then 17 every single time, where it's just 100%. In this case, he actually gets the hit. But because the rework to that one, Lewis probably feeling a little bit more comfortable down here. Up against the Spirit Breaker, because he knows at least he shouldn't die.
Yeah, this is a lane that's going to be incredibly hard to kill him in, unless FNG gets incredibly unlucky.
Yeah, if FNG was able to get the secondary stun, looks like a Nightmare on the top lane. Ferrari, the paralyzing casket won't bounce. The Nightmare switch, not perfect, but fast spot will go the way of IG. They'll look for a little bit more, chasing after Phobos, but he's got that surge away to safety. But having God now dying, Ferrari being the man to get the first blood too. Who was the man that said it was going to come down to the mid lane? I think it was Hani who was saying it comes down to the mid matchups, and he was favoring VP on that one.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain does historically pretty well against the Shadow Fiend, but with the help of the Witch Doctor, obviously things are going to get evened out. And now that the Shadow Fiend has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to net worth and being able to get that kill, he should be able to do just fine in this lane. G's still trying to play pretty aggressively to make things okay, but he's got to be careful because he can't really afford to lose this lane any harder, and he's still doing fine right now. Like, when it comes to net worth, he's behind by 500, but the experience is what matters to me in this matchup.
He was trying to prepare, I think. Yeah, FNG has been waiting for the past, like, maybe 20 seconds around that bottom rune area. Out of vision of Invictus Gaming, was about to charge into Ferrari, which might explain why God was trying to get a little bit more aggressive, like prep Ferrari for the attack. But Luo's already rotated over. Like, he's actually left bottom lane completely to come over and just watch over the SF, ensure that this early advantage isn't lost.
I think it's also just because of where the
top lane looks like Phobos, Nightmare, Chuan prepping himself up. He's got the stun available. He's just keeping that restoration up. So Darkseid is Iron Shell. Okay, it's not going to do anything. Surges away in time, and well, he's making a break for that double stack, and that double stack will kill him off. So a denial going the way of Virtus Pro. Looks like Queen of Pain is also copying a fair chunk of damage from Ferrari. But this keeps Darkseid off the top lane now. Yes, the kill doesn't happen, but it didn't seem like IG expended that much.
That was a pretty clutch deny because he had the sprint up and he was just about to stun, but at the last second, DK Phobos is like, okay, I have to go for this deny. Luckily for him too, there was a stack there, so he like instantly died before the Slithering Crush could come down, and G's just kind of chasing Ferrari out, making sure can't really contest, and he's even going to deny this top rune.
Oh, you got to be really careful about this. FNG's going to charge himself in. The Nightmare from King J, just keeping God in position. Lil will take it off him, and it looks like IG did it. Yeah, they're not going to come down into the river to battle them. They'll let it go.
There's honestly no reason for them to. Just play back. G's still kind of having a rough time. Like, he still hasn't completed his bottle. He decided to go for the Magic Wand and the Null Talisman, which he previously had, because he knows that he can't really contest this early. Mm-hmm. And the bottle would have just came way too late if he went for it anyways.
Interesting to see, because I noticed too, the farm of Illidan is just through the roof. Like, he's sitting at 27 for 15, 4.5 minutes in. Like, this is a real great CS coming out from Illidan. But watching his build, like, he's not actually holding a point in. I thought maybe he'd actually leave, like, the like a 3-0-1, and then come over and farm up the stacks with high levels up in Glaives. He seems to be bypassing that as opposed to, like, go to the second point up in Aura.
I mean, for the most part, the second level of the aura just allows you to trade hits really well, and it guarantees that you get the last hit. Like, with
they're coming in. Ferrari gonna get charged up. King J's here. The Nightmare nowhere near in time. And in fact, that's allows FNG to come in a little bit closer. The paralyzing cast from Chorn's making life difficult. But the Nightmare, King J needs to actually protect himself. Can't do it. The Splinter Blaster fleeing. There might be the Wyvern lost, but Rabbit with a big double stun. Chorn get loose and beam because now Illidan arrives in the fight as well. They brought the whole kit and caboodle. Rabbit's on the run out of here. Charge is back off cooldown, but they need the vision over on Rabbit. God's blink forward. Now they get the vision, but is it too late? Well, it doesn't matter. Queen of Pain can reach him. God having that double damage rune really brought the physical damage when it was needed.
Double damage plus Lunar Blessing. He was hitting for almost 200 a hit. Nobody can really contest that at that phase of the game, and VP just played that so well. Props to Illidan for recognizing that that was a fight that he could actually come in and take. It was on the high ground for IG, and he still recognizes that his contribution is going to be valuable, and that's what pushes that into an okay fight for VP. And all of a sudden, they're up 4-2. You wasted the time of the Slardar. You managed to kill him. You slow down the Blink Dagger even more, and more importantly than that, it makes it kind of okay for the Spirit Breaker, who was kind of struggling early on to find kills, but now he's
about to go for more. They're going to go for Undying. I think Luo realizes he's got to stand and fight here because the Eclipse, it just gets let go, and Luo will be dropping on the bottom. If he ran away, the Eclipse 100% would have hit him every single time. But now he also gives the Tombstone Gold over to Illidan, and Illidan's now sitting at Treads, Ring of a Core on a full Magic Wand, 6.5 minutes in.
That's what I was going to point out too. You just can't really afford to give up the Tombstone on top of that. Like, it does sound attractive, like, okay, I'll just lay this down and hopefully I'll survive. But at the same time...
Middle lane, Rabbit, there's your Nightmare up to go into the crush, and he's more stuns, and they can't do it. Then blink away, they do have the amplification up, but God, he's so far back under the tower, and FNG moving forward as well. IG, they know they just cannot dive in that deep.
They just rotated their carry too to try to kill a mid Queen of Pain. Was really unsuccessful right there, and that was like a 4-hero rotation just to be able to help out the Shadow Fiend a little while he was farming the stacks. And the Shadow Fiend, who got first blood, has now fallen quite far behind. His farm is still okay, but his levels just don't look like where they want to be.
He needs to catch up somehow, but like, what tools does Ferrari have? Like, he's
farming the stack right now. Like, this is the right direction for him to follow. Like, just play pretty passively.
But the stack's not that big, though.
Like, it was like a 3-stack.
Okay.
It's something to work with right now. You just want to make sure that you don't just leave yourself in the middle lane for Spirit Breaker to come charge in. Illidan's clearly demonstrated that he's willing to TP in just for these mini skirmishes.
Yep.
So you want to try to avoid them if you're IG, because Queen of Pain, the mobility of that hero, on top of the fact that Lunar Blessing helps everyone out so much on the side of VP, you want to try to avoid those fights if possible.
I want to flag something too, which you were talking about a little bit earlier inside this game, is the fact that the warning game from IG was really, really good in the previous game. But I'm watching this right now, and they just don't have any money on these supports, or at least the money they do have, they're about to lose on the Bane. He's got 385 gold, try and Nightmare up gold, so he removes the damage. The Iron Shell's still going to tick through him, and you even get the 17% to hit in right there.
Yeah, they want to try to protect this ward, and so they're probably going to rotate in. It probably doesn't matter too much, though, because even if they go for a sentry, all you do is delay it a little bit.
They're going bottom lane. They're after Luo once again. Luo is waiting inside the Roche Pit, but now with the Tombstone and the Soul Rip, they really take a lot of damage, and the heavy TP's coming in. Illidan's in a world of hurt. The Raiders as well as Ferrari coming into the fight. No more supports being brought in from VP, but if Illidan gets out of here with no extra supports, no, he won't. And the Nightmare, it allows him to pick up a twofer. But Invictus Gaming brought the whole team to take out both the Lunar and the Wyvern.
I mean, well worth it. Just being able to slow down the top net worth in the game. The Luna thought that she was going to be perfectly fine because obviously the Undying doesn't have any sort of disable, and the Luna just naturally runs really quickly, like 380 with just treads. Probably thought she was going to be okay, but with all those zombies hitting her, and they just had a lot of follow-up with that too, and she has to be a little bit more careful than that because, yeah, she's really fun right now. Like, Aquila treads, you gotta be careful though.
He came in really close right there, Lil. There's actually a charge coming in from FNG Chuan. He doesn't have mana, so you're not looking at any kind of paralyzing cast control. Ferrari can't do anything. He's trapped inside the river, but Rabbit will come in for the crush. The Lucent Beam, the Bane actually taking the hit for him, so the Witch Doctor Chuan taking it for him, but it's still enough to keep Ferrari alive as another Lucent Beam hits on Rabbit. He can't run himself away in time as he just goes directly into the Nether Strike. It is Slaughter all getting ripped apart, not only by the Spirit Breaker, but also by that Darkseer Iron Shell.
Honestly, the way that Illidan's playing this Luna reminds me of LGD times when Sylar would just like come in with the Luna in the mid lane just to make sure that they were able to secure the counter gank, and he's been there every single time. like in the major engagement so far, and although he had that unfortunate death at bottom, his ulti is what's able to turn everything around for them in that mid fight. And I'm really surprised that IG are still taking these fights just because they know at this point they're a little bit too far behind. Ferrari doesn't really have any major items. He only has the treads. You don't have a blink dagger on your slow dart either. There's no real way for you to kind of assemble, and they're even going to go for the smoke gank right now, and they have to get something out of this. They can't really afford to lose another fight. Illidan doesn't have the ultimate. That's one thing that's going in their favor. And VP probably doesn't expect this to happen right now.
But what are you going to kill again? Let you go for Illidan as well as Lil? You kill the same two guys again, you still got Phobos.
Yeah, we'll
getting
see
space and building into that mech, which you kind of need to slow up. Like, you're right, like, kill's a kill. And they need something at the moment.
VP senses this right now. They're bringing everybody down here right now. And
yeah, they just drop the tombstone. They go underneath the tower. The minion actually dies before it gets behind the tree line. And now you actually cancel out that TP because FNG is showing himself inside the lane. But this was like a very big worm. And right now, IG perfectly baited into the tree line. And actually Nether strikes back out again. King J's in real trouble. The sword will keep him alive. The Darkseid wall will drop a Ferrari. He's still got no Requiem of Souls. They don't have the team fight control here. And with the split blast flying in, IG's taking so much damage. Ferrari losing beam and scream. He can't do anything. It's a double kill for God. They actually curse up Luo down inside the tree line, and that's where they're just bashing him down as deep as they can possibly go. There's 3 heroes that will be lost here for IG. A triple kill for God, and this will speed up not only the Orchid, but the momentum of all of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and again, this is IG just going to take a fight without any of those core items. They just kind of went for the YOLO play, go for the smoke, try to stop the bleeding, but VP kind of just game sensed it out, kind of realized, okay, nobody from IG showing, they're quite far behind. It's not like they're just going to go for the team jungle. Yep. They're probably getting aggressive on us. G correctly TPs to that bottom tier 2, and I mean, if you saw what FNG did, he just baited them deeper and deeper.
I can't believe IG went for that. Like, why did IG even go for that?
They were probably just like, we have to get something out of this. Decided, it was like, okay, well, we'll just go for the commitment, but it wasn't even like they had the level Requiem of Souls on the Shadow Fiend either. Like, they had none of these teamfight abilities. They didn't have any farm. Like, Ferrari's down to 10 souls right now.
Yeah, this is the worst situation that IG could think of. You need some kind of recovery mechanism for your SF, and right now there's only one stack sitting inside that jungle. Ferrari needs time and space. They need to, however, also get the same for the Undying. He needs to be able to finish up that mech so these team fights are even possible for them. And the Blink Dagger is nowhere near for Rabbit. In fact, Rabbit's just having to have this bracer as well as full wand and tread so he can survive during the fights and still be there. And so there's no initiation for IG.
Yeah, that's actually perfectly well put. When Purge was trying to analyze earlier, he's like, okay, if Rabbit actually gets the Blink Dagger, you know, they could actually create a lot of chaos, and that was a really good point to make. But at the same time, we were both under the assumption that, you know, the Slardar will get a lot of farm. Yep. But he wasn't able to keep up with the Luna, and they kept rotating Rabbit in for these engagements. None of them were successful. And on the flip side of things, Illidan playing the Luna comes in time and time again, provides 1 or 2 beams, the Solar Blessing, or the Lunar Blessing just for G to hit a little bit harder. Yep. Completely turns things around for his team time and time again.
I'm watching now IG. They're trying to play the bait game. They're keeping Rabbit just out of the field of vision of Luo and trying to hope that God will jump him. And now they've lost track of God, so they just accept their fate that this bait has not worked and Rabbit needs to get back to the farming.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, on bottom lane, Phobos adds so much pressure. And what's King J meant to do against this? This guy's not even level 6 yet. There's no Fiend's Grip. And even if he does get Fiend's Grip, there's so many things which are already high level to stop him. So he'll never get a full channel off. Now, Luo and Rabbit, they have to take damage. The Tombstone will be dropped as God. Well, they do have the amplification on him, but they've got no way they can get a stun. So the Tombstone is blowing. You get 1 TP to top lane from VP, but IG burn 2.
Yeah, this is just VP continuing to outmaneuver IG around the map. IG, they still have a way to get back into this game. It's the Rabbit Blink Dagger. If you get a mech and a BKB on Ferrari, you can probably still take fights, but when it comes to net worth and levels, they've fallen quite far behind right now. Like, their 2 supports are incredibly underleveled, incredibly underfarmed. We're not seeing the impact that we saw from Chuan in Game 1. Like, that was my Game 1 MVP. Chuan playing the Rubik, just being able to create chaos on all the fights. You can't really do that with the Witch Doctor when you're this underfarmed. It's not like the Rubik where you can, you know, steal a few clutch abilities. You need levels on this Witch Doctor to be able to do anything. He doesn't even have the maxed out cast yet, just because of how underleveled he is. And the Death Ward is nice, but at the same time, everybody from VP is getting so farmed.
Yeah, the Death Ward is just going to do no damage whatsoever. And it also looks like IG is trying to repair that problem as well, like the amount of damage they're taking. You're talking about the potential mech. Like, Ferrari Ferrari has bought the headdress and finished up the buckler now. It's coming out in the courier. But I'm also seeing the Undying walking around with a headdress. Ferrari's about to die, so he'll be very happy he spent his money. Unless the rest of IG can get there in time. Where's that soul? Bluo took too long to get there. Now he drops the Tombstone Rabbit. Being cursed up, the Nightmare will buy him a little bit of space, but he's still taking so much damage. The soul to keep him alive. Phobos being controlled. It's the Death Lord plus the Fiend's Grip, and in comes God. He needs that hit on Rabbit. He's got it. It's a double kill coming in as FNG diving into the tower. Tron will be back into his own death under the hits of Luna, and this just looks like a complete stop. VP 17-5. God, he's not going to dive under the tier 3 tower for this, as VP just took a flawless team fight.
Yeah, they opened up on the Shadow Fiend, who has nothing. Nobody from IG can really back him up, and as weird as it sounds, that's not even terrible of a fight for IG the way it started. They were able to get like a 3-second Fiend's Grip off. The Witch Doctor ultimate hit for so long. VP just didn't really care. They were just like, okay, we're still so far enough.
Well, they took Ferrari out before the fight even really began. Like, that Fiend's Grip and Death Ward started after Ferrari was practically dead.
And I mean, this game is just kind of, if it hasn't before, it is completely snowballed, out of control right now. And looking at this mid-fight, being able to kill the Shadow Fiend was great, but at the same time, why does IG continue to commit?
I don't know. Like, Rabbit was in so deep, and you could see King J, like, he tried to save him. He's like, okay, Rabbit's in trouble, so they use Nightmare to try and break him free of the curse area, or at least the time for it, and then they Soul Rip him to try and keep him alive. When their Soul Rip was meant to try and actually come down and keep Ferrari alive, but you couldn't get the Undying in position in time. Lure was too far back.
Yeah, there was actually no way that you were going to save the Shadow Fiend there. Like, he was going to get bursted down. He has no heal mechanisms, no mech or anything.
So you got to cut your losses.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Rabbit kind of ran forward like, oh, I got you, and no, you're just going to die with him, and at that point,
they go again.
Engaging.
This time, though, Luo's going to be there. He gets bounced back by FNG. Rabbit able to get the amplification off with the Tombstone Decay. Luo brings his life back up with the Soul Rip. FNG, he just keeps going after that Slaughter, proving the cows are stronger than fishes. Right now, Spirit Breaker wants to go even deeper, and where they do it, it's a mini stun. It's a loser beam into Ferrari, bounces back on Tron. The paralyzing cast might have been thrown out, but the curse, it keeps Ferrari in position, so they can't really do much with it. The Fiend's Grip is there on Phobos, but another loser beam, and God, he's waiting for the perfect opportunity. Blinks forward with the Orca. King J is dead just from the pop of that. There's still no Sonic Wave, but it doesn't matter. Ferrari's Requiem of Souls, it's like throwing kittens right now at Verse Pro. They just keep beating the back. Illidan might be low because of the Death Ward, but he's in the trees, and IG, they're chasing after one kill. Can they claim one? Rabbit's back with that sprint, but it's level 2. He's just not fast enough to keep up with the Luna, and she's just able to outrun Ghost in the Eclipse, and now she wants to go for the solo kill, pulling out the high ground advantage. Illidan, like, he knew Rabbit had no idea what he was running into, and just basically dropped the entire skyline on him.
Alright, now, I mean, Illidan at this one is just showing off. Like, one crush, he dies there, but he decides to time it perfectly, doesn't allow him to do anything, even animation cancels the stun using the Lucent Beam, times that perfectly. I mean, this guy, I mean, it might be G getting all the kills, but it's Illidan's rotations and his individual play that's really broken IG's back.
That he still managed to find 5 of them. Like, even if God does have 10 for 1, you have a 5 for 1 Luna who's about to farm up even more, starting up in the Ancients, and that Manta Style is very, very close. Once he's finished up these Ancients, he'll actually have his Manta Style done.
Alright, so what do you do here? You're IG, you're so far behind, you don't have any core items.
You start thinking about game 3?
Maybe this is the time to strategize around that, just because every single time they fought, Ferrari hasn't had full souls. He's had like 30 souls or like 28 or something like that.
You're right, like, where's the damage coming? Like, you got Ferrari who's built into this early mech. Now, it's the standard build which he always does for his SF, where you got the Quilla, Trez, Bottle, as well as mech. There's nothing unusual about this at all. And I almost feel like IG looked at this game and thought, let's weather the storm. Like, Luo did pick up this headdress, which I can only assume was him looking at all the magical damage from VP and going, pipe? Or something like that, or there was miscommunication somewhere down the lines where Undying just said, or maybe he just said, I can't get enough money to finish the mech, we need the mech now, Ferrari, you have to do this for us.
This is the last-ditch effort from IG. If you look at their item builds...
And it's going to be completely blown by FNG, he walks in and breaks the smoke on Ferrari and King J. They've just got no, there's just no space for IG, and what are they supposed to do? FNG charges in, Luo's being beaten around, and the Undying Tombstone, this time he's in a really good position for it. They get the curse over on Rabbit Ferrari, pumping in the damage to Illidan, but where is the more damage? It doesn't exist, no, with the Mana Style, the glaives are bouncing around, it's a triple kill for God, and there it is! It won't even be 20 minutes on the clock, and Invictus Gaming will get crushed by Virtus Pro after what looked like such a stable, safe game for IG. It's like we had a completely different IG here in Game 2.
Honestly, VP just outmaneuvered them, out-rotated them. They gave Illidan a hero that I think he could make a little bit more plays with, and that was just clinical. That's the VP that you want to see, the ones that are able to just out team fight you, constantly be people starting the fight or being the aggressor. And I mean, Rabbit just was never able to get that blink dagger